Hello everyone and welcome to Counselor Feature Friday. I'm your host, Brian Urban. In these features we hope to give you some simple tips, tidbits, and tricks to make your days easier and your patients happier. In this feature we're going to talk about business reporting. In fact, we're going to do an overview today. This is a topic that we've certainly covered in other Feature Fridays, but one I thought that was important to talk about this time of year, right? It's great to look back at last year and see how you're doing so that you can then, of course, plan well for this year. So we're going to go through several different areas. If there are any particular areas that you want assistance on with Counselor, we're happy to dive into these in a more specific fashion, relative to your specific needs. So give us a call, email us, live chat us, and we're happy to review any questions that you have. But we'll start here in the dashboard. As you likely know, there are a whole series of dashboard widgets dedicated towards tracking of our business data here. So we can see, for example, sales. We can break that down by different types or staff members. Obviously, time periods. We can drop the details down into a spreadsheet. Same thing goes. We can drop the details monthly into a spreadsheet as well. And there's a whole series of widgets for this purpose. Also one's dedicated for referral type tracking, so you can see your sales relative to a specific referral type. So a lot is available at your fingertips right from the dashboard. But beyond that, you can also click on business in the top menu bar. As I'm sure you already know, there are business report generators within each one of these areas. You can pop in there, you can look at your full data set, you can filter by the specific column, specific data you want to filter by. Now, I will say at the outset, if you are looking at filtering by the data from last year, I would recommend that you start by just go ahead and clear this out. Say no filter, and then go ahead and set your dates from last year, January 1st to December 31st. That's just the quickest way to get this done, honestly. So I'm going to go ahead and just put in here January 1st of 2019, and then we'll put in, get rid of that. There we go. Let's put in December 31st. There we go. And now we'll do between. So that will give us last year specifically. Then, of course, I mentioned you can filter by any column that you want. You can also set up templates. So if you have certain filters in place and you like them, you can save it and then access them later on. You also can set this up so maybe you don't want to see all the columns, right? You can eliminate certain groups of columns or individual columns. So that way, when you look back at your the table within the report generator, you only see what you need to see. So for example, if I leave like that, it'll cut off a lot of columns there. And then if you say, hey, well, I like this, maybe going forward, I want this, this report to be delivered to me on a routine basis. You can go ahead and click on schedule, and then you can say, all right, I want this to be delivered daily, weekly, monthly, right? You decide, and then Counselor will run the report for you, either for all clinics or specific clinics, and you'll see that Excel spreadsheet then will be delivered to your report pickup. So let's say you have it on a weekly basis, you can look back here on a weekly basis and see that new report has been delivered. Okay, so once again, the report generators are a very flexible area for finding specific information, specific data sets, and having that returned or delivered to you on a routine basis. Now, once again, if you want kind of the more quick take on this and say, hey, I want to see the summaries, there's a bunch of those as well. So we can see our, for example, our AR aging summary, our hearing and sales summary, hearing and sales detail, total sales summary, and there's also the life cycle summary. So each one of those areas obviously gives you the ability to dive into the data. Let's have a very quick look at the hearing aid sales summary. There's a lot of different decisions you can make here, but ultimately it comes down to basically set the date range, and then Counselor will show you the full, a summary for that time range. So let's go ahead and just put in this last year. I'll leave this for full staff and for all clinics and for several of the manufacturers. And just by doing that, I'm able to now see a high-level summary of total units and everything across the board that went along with it, and then the details related to this data is then filled out here. So now we can see our gross units by manufacturer. I can bring open pie chart if I want to see the distribution amongst manufacturers, and then as I go through, of course, you just see this data broken down in different ways. And as I go further here, I can see data related to ASPs and returns by manufacturer and rates and exchange rates and cancellation rates, and then lastly here by enroll rates. So a lot of information can be broken down very quickly with a few selections up here. So between the dashboard, the business report generators, and the summary reports, we hope that you have a lot of really high quality data at your fingertips anytime. Please, like I said, let us know if we can assist with kind of going through this data to help you maximize it and help you do your best planning for this year. In addition, I just want to mention we have two big announcements coming out this next week. One related to a brand new integration partner we're very excited about, and the second one related to a brand new feature that we're very excited to announce. So watch for updates next week. And once again, as always, thank you for joining us for Counselor Feature Friday, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.